When you think about society collapsing, what comes to mind? Power outages, no running water, food shortages? Those are all huge. But there's one scenario almost nobody talks about, and it's the single fastest trigger for regional chaos: prisons. Because when a major blackout hits the US and stays down, the deadliest correctional facilities in America don't just lock down tighter, they fail. The electronic locks freeze shut or swing open. Ventilation systems die and temperatures inside spike dangerously. Guards lose all visibility as cameras and communications go dark. And when officers are forced to evacuate for their own safety, gang leaders inside seize control. Suddenly, thousands of high-risk inmates aren't locked in anymore. They're walking straight out into our cities. In some states, this could happen in hours, in others minutes. Today, we're remapping the American prisons that are most likely to collapse first in a grid down event and how they could ignite a chain reaction that no state can contain. This isn't about fear. It's about understanding the fragile infrastructure we rely on every single day. So why do prisons fail so quickly? It's simple. Electricity isn't just a convenience for a modern prison. It's the entire backbone of its security. We're talking about cell doors, internal gates, electronic locks, HVAC systems, plumbing, water pressure, camera networks, perimeter lights, electric fences, and the control towers that oversee it all. Everything is tied to the grid. When that grid dies, the clock starts ticking. In the first 30 seconds, the lights go out and the ventilation stops. Within 2 minutes, internal temperatures start to rise. At 5 minutes, officers lose all situational awareness. At 10 minutes, the electronic locks begin to fail or jam. By the 20-minute mark, the inmates can sense the vulnerability. Riots can ignite in as little as 30 minutes. An hour in, the entire facility could begin its collapse, leading to mass escapes in under 2 hours. Now, let's look at the specific facilities that could trigger a statewide collapse. We've ranked them using a Collapse Potential Index, or CPI, from 1 to 10. Let's begin. Coming in at number 10 is USP Atlanta in Georgia. With a CPI of 6.5, this federal facility houses nearly 2,000 high-risk inmates. Its biggest weakness is its age. With a 100-year-old design, decrepit infrastructure, and documented security failures, its electrical systems are extremely vulnerable. If the grid goes down here, downtown Atlanta is exposed within hours. The entire metro area could destabilize in less than a day. At number 9, we have Folsom State Prison in California. With a CPI of 6.7, Folsom holds around 2,400 inmates and is notorious for its heavy gang presence. Its downfall in a blackout would be a combination of extreme heat, ancient electrical systems, and its direct proximity to Sacramento's suburbs. A power failure at Folsom could create a corridor of chaos stretching right into the state's capital. Number 8 is the Pendleton Correctional Facility in Indiana. With a CPI of 6.8. This facility has about 1,600 inmates with a high concentration of violent offenders. Its collapse would be triggered by chronic understaffing and a relatively low-tech perimeter. Its rural location means emergency response would be dangerously slow, allowing escapees to disperse into the suburbs of Indianapolis within just a few hours. And at number 7, we have the infamous Mississippi State Penitentiary, better known as Parchman, with a CPI of 6.9. This is one of America's most troubled prisons, holding over 3,000 inmates. It suffers from extreme overcrowding, failing infrastructure, and dangerously low ventilation. During Mississippi's intense summer heat, a grid failure here would mean an immediate humanitarian and security crisis that would collapse the entire state's response system almost instantly. At number 6, we have Rikers Island in New York, with a CPI of 7.1. This island complex houses around 5,500 people. Its biggest vulnerabilities are political instability and a chronic staffing crisis. It's completely dependent on mainland water and power. When the grid goes down, the violence contained on that island would spill into all 5 boroughs in less than 6 hours. Number 5 is Cook County Jail in Chicago, scoring a 7.3 on the CPI. With over 5,700 inmates, its urban concentration and high gang density are its biggest threats. In a blackout, its central location provides rapid access to the entire city. Chicago would collapse inward first, as chaos spreads from the jail, and then explode outward along its major transportation corridors. Next, at number 4, the Maricopa County Jail System in Phoenix, Arizona. With ACPI of 7.5, this system holds nearly 9,000 inmates across multiple facilities. The primary threat here is extreme heat. With no air conditioning, the cells become lethal. Combine that with established gang pipelines running from California to Texas, and the blackout creates instant riot conditions. Phoenix would destabilize within hours. Breaking into the top 3 is Orleans Parish Prison in Louisiana. With a CPI of 7.7, while it has a smaller population of around 1,300, its volatility is extreme. The infrastructure is already damaged from past hurricanes, and the combination of heat, humidity, and staff shortages is a disaster waiting to happen. Its close proximity to the French Quarter means a blackout would make New Orleans ungovernable in less than a day. The runner-up at number 2 is Harris County Jail in Houston, Texas, with a CPI of 8.0. This is the largest county jail system in America, with 10,000 inmates. Its massive population, total electrical dependency, and complex gang networks make it incredibly fragile. In a blackout scenario, Houston would become one of the fastest collapsing major cities in the country. And now, the number 1 most dangerous prison in the United States during a blackout. San Quentin State Prison in California, with a CPI of 8.4. Its ancient infrastructure has zero resilience to heat or smoke from wildfires. Its extreme gang density and immediate access to the Bay Area make it the ultimate trigger. A blackout at San Quentin wouldn't just take down a city. It would destabilize an entire region, from Marin County to San Francisco. This is America's number 1 prison collapse ignition point. Once these prisons fail, the national cascade begins. Urban centers destabilize, police are overwhelmed, and the National Guard is stretched thin. Interstate corridors become unsafe, and neighboring states feel the spillover. Supply chains break, hospitals lock down, and regional collapse ignites. So what survives? The regions that stay stable will have low inmate populations, strong grid redundancy, and geographic buffers. Think colder climates and rural isolation. We'll cover those safe zones in a future video. If you want to understand America's weakest points, you have to map them prison, grid by grid. And if you think a prison collapse is deadly, wait until you see what happens when the water disappears. Click here to watch our next video, U.S. Water Wars. The states that will lose everything. This is 0 Hour Atlas. We don't predict doom. We map what survives. Thanks for watching.